returning year 3, obviously now, I mean, the way college basketball is, it's like everyone's on a 1-year contract. I know you said you're good at navigating the noise, but I imagine whether it's an agent or family member or coach, like maybe some
Yeah,
portal
sure.
buzz, like where people.
Jules is like a second home for me. Like when I made my decision to come here, I really committed to staying here. So
7'4" wingspan, is that confirmed?
it, it's more so 7'5" when I was out at the with the team.
And they texted me that number, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I know what. Yeah, they
Yes.
saw it. They was like, that might be like the craziest one we've seen so far.
Do you think it's a superpower to be overlooked?
Yeah, for sure.
Here, Rasheer Fleming, rising junior at St. Joseph's University. Before we kind of get into your sophomore season, exciting summer, maybe let's just move it back to the origins of your basketball journey.
My influences, I'll probably say my mom and my dad. They were two athletic people, so I just grew up playing basketball with my dad. Uh, I was very competitive back then, so I just wanted to win in everything I played. So yeah, basically playing anything with my dad, I just wanted to win, and we played basketball the most. So that was one of the things I felt like I can get good at when I was younger, and that was one of the things I always felt like was a part of me.
Looking back, is there a distinct moment for you where you started taking it seriously?
That's a good question. So when I was like 5/6, I was doing mostly like workouts and just playing for fun. But I remember the first time I was about to be put in like a basketball league, something I could actually win in while playing. So I'll say like 5 or 6 around there.
Camden High School, growing up in such a huge basketball area of the world, New Jersey scholars. Walk through your identity as a player in high school and that recruitment process.
In high school, overall my personality, I feel like I don't talk much. But like in high school, I really didn't talk much. So it was just like I'll just I'll just let everything happen. Like I'll just play this game and see what it gives back to me, basically. But I wasn't doing it for anything. But the fact that I was able to get a offer from St. Joe's and just continue my basketball career here, it's just been a blessing. I'll say in high school it was pretty fun playing with all the guys that I played with. I've been able to just grow with them, being able to know them, play with them.
Would you consider yourself maybe more of a late bloomer?
That's what I've heard a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I would consider that. Everything I do, I feel like I've always done, basically. But it's just now like showing. It's just now finally showing. If that makes any sense.
Gotcha. When you say like finally showing, you mean maybe like translating to games or
Right,
more?
right.
Gotcha. What do you expect going into your freshman season? And then what were some lessons from that year 1 at St. Joe's?
To be honest, I wasn't expecting anything. I was just trying to hoop. Like I was just going in expecting to play basketball and trying to win them as much as possible. But my sophomore year is when like I see like that me and the team really have a chance to do something big here. So it really it was more expectations my sophomore year, but freshman year I feel like it was just go in there, have fun, just play your heart out, basically.
So you mentioned, maybe always having the confidence. Like maybe it didn't show, but you always kind of felt like the skill set was there, the tools, the ability was there. What do you think enabled the jump in year 2? You double your points, really active on the glass, blocking shots, making an impact on both ends of the floor. What kind of enabled that jump?
Staying consistent in the little stuff, like just always knowing to play hard. Like no matter what, if you can't make a shot, you can still run down the floor hard. You can still play defensive plays well. You can do all the little stuff well, and that's something I kind of been like told growing up, like when I've been playing like for my mom and my dad, basically, just like just always play hard. And my coach has been saying the same thing, like whatever you do, just play hard. So that's one thing that just kind of helps with the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the motor definitely sticks out on the court and it's pretty loud. Is that something you said you've always had it? Did you grow up playing any other sports?
Uh, I played I played football and I ran track. My mom had me run track. I hated track, but yeah, it was all right. It was helpful. It was helpful in cross country.
Okay, so a runner. What position did you play in football?
I was a wide receiver.
Damn, like a Calvin Johnson type
Yeah,
or
I was tough. Yeah,
Megatron comp. That's tough.
Megatron. Yeah, I used to always hear
Yeah.
that.
Towards your sophomore season, start producing, playing more. You guys had a really good stretch, had good, big wins early in the season, started getting more attention. How'd you deal with, maybe more noise throughout the season?
Just really like try not. I try not to hear like anything on the outside. I really like just sticking close with the team. As long as the team is together with, for the most part, like we don't really worry about the outside like noise. So it's just like keeping a clear head, staying connected with your teammates and coaches. It's because throughout the season, it's like a lot of stuff can seep in. A lot of things can seep in and kind of break down what the team feel, how the team feels about each other, and just how we go on about the season. But as long as we connected, I feel like we made it far. We make it far.
Looking back at year two, is there a game, a moment that kind of sticks out to you?
The Big Five one. I like that Big Five game. Big Five against Temple. That was a game I feel like we all played well. It was just a big moment because we got to win that for the like that was like the city game. I didn't know much about it until I got here, and as soon as I heard about it, I wanted like we was trying to win like immediately. But like just being competitive, you want to win everything you win. So I would say like being in the East Coast is like it's just all dogs out here. I ain't gonna lie. Like everybody, we play hard. Like for the most part, like that's the main thing you can't teach is just playing hard. And
After the season, you were an early entrant to the draft. You went through the draft process, worked out with teams, got some feedback. What did it mean to you just to kind of be in a position where you can go through that process, and then what went behind that decision?
it was really fun to be honest because I like just growing up. My dream growing up was to always just be in the NBA. So even doing the workouts with teams that I always seen when I was younger, just going there, being able to play for the guys, being able to play in their facilities for the amount of time I did, and hear feedback from the coaches was just a dope experience. I feel like. I think what went into that was just I feel like nothing bad could have happened from doing it. Like it only could have been a good experience. So I feel like that was just a good decision to do.
Was there a moment through the season where you started to realize it was, more of a reality than a dream?
I would say like not specific, like it wasn't a specific moment. I feel like it's kind of gradual, but I don't know. It still feels weird sometimes. I don't think too much about it.
How many workouts did you end up doing through that process?
I think it was around like five.
Gotcha. Which teams?
It was Brooklyn, Boston, Milwaukee, Atlanta, and the Clippers.
How was that experience, like the actual work? And then what was the type of feedback you got?
The experience was crazy. So, well, my first one was in Brooklyn, and I feel like I was like super tired that first workout. But after that, every other workout after that, I felt like I was good. But that was the first one, so got that out the way. But with all the teams, it was really cool. I've never been out to the West Coast before that, so going out the what team was that? The Clippers. Going out to the Clippers practice facility was kind of crazy. Like I wasn't expecting the Heat to be how it was, but yeah, it was cool. It was dope. Like every practice facility was cool. They showed us around. It's like much different than college. Like it's just a lot more that they have, but it was really cool. So, some of the feedback. Two main things is like being able to like keep trying to be able to guard like on a perimeter, um, and like with rebounding, just keep attacking the boards. Everything else with my game, they seem to like. So I was really excited to hear that.
Returning year three, obviously now, I mean, the way college basketball is, it's like everyone's on a 1 year contract. And,
Yeah,
especially players like you mentioned, relationship with some of the guys that have stayed there multiple years, like Eric going into his fourth year with Coach Lang. I know you said you're good at navigating the noise, but I imagine whether it's an agent or family member or coach, like there's definitely maybe some
yeah, sure.
portal buzz, like were people pulling at you to get in the portal? How'd you deal with that? Because it's hectic.
Yeah, it was. I ain't gonna lie. It was. Yeah, I heard a lot of the stuff when it came to like the portal and all that. But like when I like this is like a home. Like St. George is like a second home for me. Like when I made my decision to come here, I really committed to staying here. So everything I heard about the transfer portal kind of it's like not what I'm listening to what like I'm understanding what y'all mean. Like I get it, but it's more like it's more to it than just. transfer, get more money, and then play with this other team. Like I grew to have a relationship with the people on the team, the staff, the players. So it's like once I made my decision, I'm committed to that.
Expanding off that, like, what's your relationship like with coach and the rest of the staff?
Everybody is just like it's like a literally a family member to me. Like I can't name anybody on the staff that I dislike. Like honestly, like everybody is super cool, super willing to hear everything that you have to say. But it's dope. Everybody, players and staff.
So this summer you had the invitation to Formula Zero Elite Camp, Damian Lillard's prestigious event. What did it mean to you to get that invitation? And what was that experience like?
Super hot over there as well. Just to throw that out there. But
It was.
yeah, it was yo. That was crazy. That might have been.
Yeah.
I think I saw the weather was nothing below 100 the week
It
I
was
was there.
105 when I got there.
Man, yeah, I seen 117 one day, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that was crazy. But when I saw the invite, I was hyped. Like I'm not gonna lie, I never got invited to like one of those type of camps before. Like yeah, so I felt like it was just like I'm taking another step in the right direction. So going out there, I feel like that was honestly a great experience as well. Like with all the guys like Phil Beckner uh, and everybody that he had on his staff helping him, they showed us a lot. It was a great experience.
The unique part of Formula Zero is, it's closed to the public, but there are representatives from nearly all 30 NBA teams, front office guys, scouts, executives. What do you think you showed those teams? You did earn the Pitbull Competitor Award at the end of the week for your nonstop motor that we talked about earlier, intensity, competitive spirit. What do you think you showed those NBA teams?
Just well, based off the Pitbull Award, I would say just being able to like win or lose, just making sure you know you competed, like you really trying to win a game, playing your all out, no matter who you playing and where you playing. But I think I was also able to show like just a little more of what I can do, like on the outside part of the game. And I thought I defended pretty well when I was out there too. So just a mix of everything like that.
What was kind of your reaction when they called your name, honoring you as a Pitbull competitor of the group and, a very distinguished, high motor, talented group?
I wasn't even expecting to get an award if I'm being honest. I thought I played well out there, but I just wasn't expecting it. So when they called me, I was like, oh, like I got up kind of shocked a little bit. But it meant a lot because like I said, that was my first like I never been invited to like a camp like that before, like what a lot of high major guys. Um so yeah, just being able to get that while I was out there was definitely cool. It was a great experience.
If you were an NBA GM and you had, the rest of your front office and you're meeting around the table and he had to break down your game, how would you sell yourself to the rest of the room?
I would say that I'm a player that super coachable and is willing to play multiple positions. Does whatever it takes to win. Can guard 1 through 5. Is getting better at guarding 1 through 5, but for the most part, can't guard 1 through 5. Uh, can handle the ball when he needs to. Can shoot the ball pretty well. Um, just yeah, hustles for rebounds, hustles for blocks, hustles off. Excuse me, hustles on the court, like just running down. Transition is where he's pretty skilled at as well. Cutting, uh, and it's getting better at just reading the game overall.
And then following up on that, if an NBA GM could only watch one game of yours from your sophomore season, which game would it be?
I like that question. I know somebody would probably expect the Temple game because that was probably like one of the better games I had. But I would probably say, hey, hold on, that's a good question. Hold on, nah, I like the Temple game, the Nova game. I'll probably say the George Mason game. The George Mason game we played in the when we played them in the A10 tournament.
7'4" wingspan? Is that confirmed?
It, it's more so 7'5". I've been seeing more 7'5" when I was out at the with the team.
Okay, I won't say the team. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but I did have a text from one of those teams, and they texted me that number, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, they
Yes.
saw it. They was like, that might be like the craziest one we've seen so far.
So I guess building off of that, like with that, length you have, that's an asset. How do you think you channel that on the court? Let's start with offense, and then we'll go defense. Defense a little bit more obvious.
Yeah, right. Uh, I would say my shot, getting my shot off. Like I don't think it's a lot of times where I get my shot blocked. So I think yeah, I would say getting my shot off. And with that being said, I think like I can take my time more on shooting, like shooting a good shot. Like I wouldn't have to rush a shot. But that and being able to finish over people. Like I think I need to get a little stronger with like just contact to contact, but like being able to finish like over people because of my arms length, like is definitely a plus.
Yeah, I think you definitely showed that at Formula Zero, especially getting matched up with some smaller players, some bigger players, taking those guys to the cup and finishing with finesse defensively. That length, how does that help you?
Like I would say perimeter shot blocking and like obviously the regular shot blocking, but really like perimeter shot blocking because people don't really expect it like to get their shot blocked a lot. So when I'm there and it happens, it's like whoa. And then the next time they're able to get a shot off. I mean, the next time they get the ball, and I'm there, they probably have second thoughts of shooting the ball again. So it's just a positive when it happens the first time.
Outsiders label you a late bloomer. Maybe you don't co-sign it, but do you think, maybe advice to younger players that are less heralded or they don't have the buzziest recruitment? Do you think it's a superpower to be overlooked?
Yeah, for sure. Especially for my like, if you got my type of personality, you like the social media and the stuff is kind of I don't you don't care too much about it. So I feel like when it doesn't feel like a lot of eyes are watching you because who they think you are, like it's probably a lot less pressure. And then being able to do what you do, I feel like when that pressure comes, you still wouldn't care as much. So it's definitely a blessing. I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't change that for anything.
And you talk about being someone that, they weren't invited to these elite camps in high school, top 100, all these different brands. You obviously have outdeveloped some of your peers. What do you think has allowed you to consistently develop your game year to year?
Just work, just consistently working, being able to just like definitely know when to have your breaks, but just like if you're trying to be better, then you're gonna have to put the work in. Like at the end of the day, it's it's not much you can. There's not much more you can do besides that. Just putting in the work and just know that you like have confidence in yourself at the end of the day.
Your fall session started up. What's
Yeah,
a day look like now in the fall?
a lot more class work, but yeah. Right now we've been getting up in the morning to have either lift or shooting workouts, and then we switch groups. Then we go to class afterwards, and then after that we'll practice where we'll probably play 5-on-5, working our development and script and everything that we need to work on. Maybe night class, come back to the crib.
So, you go through the draft process, you work out with 5 teams, really productive sophomore season, start to get recognition in the summer, invited to Formula Zero. What do you think you need to improve the most before you take that next step in your career?
I think I touched on it before, more like just guarding multiple positions. I feel like I do it well already, but just keep improving on it. Well, improving on everything, every part of my game for real. But like on the defensive side, I would say just guard because I know that's a big thing in the league. Like everybody in the NBA is a great player. Like there's no bad player in the NBA, so you're gonna have to be able to guard every position if you want to make it far. So I feel like just being comfortable guarding those multiple spots and doing it well.
What position do you see yourself at the next level?
Three stretch four, something like around there.
Gotcha. So a 3 stretch 4 that can guard all 5.
They can guard off. Yeah.
So obviously you showed guarding all 5 in college. You think you're already there? You can guard all 5 if you were in the NBA tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be tough, but yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna say I can't do that.
Yeah, so I put you on the spot there. But who are some players, maybe you don't model your game after, but when you're watching an NBA game, who are some guys that stick out to you? And then what are some roles, we talked about it a bit, that you see translating for you?
Well, the main one is KD, just cause like I feel like everybody that's tall, like lengthy, and can like do a little. I got a nice little skill set. We'll say KD, but like I really like KD. Brian and KD was like the guys for me growing up. Like I used to always watch them. So I would say them too. Like just watching, but that I could probably see myself being as I would probably say like not saying like we got the same type of game, but like I could see like myself being in the like a Jaden McDaniels type position or Nas Reed or something like that. Maybe like Jeremy Grant. I feel like yeah, those are some that I heard a couple times and that I could like visualize it.
Off of visualizing, what are your goals for this next coming season and then beyond that?
I just yeah wins, just trying to win, but uh make it as far as we can in the A10. Let's really try to get to really try to get further past the A10 tournament because I think we made it to the semifinals the past 2 years, winning the A10 tournament and just making it as far as possible. Same thing with further in my career, just getting as many wins as you can.
Seem like a real hoop junkie. You take your game seriously, take skill development seriously. What gets your mind off basketball?
My family, just being around my family, because I don't have to talk about basketball when I'm around them. Just talk about life. I'll say my family. In times of need, I go to God because that's like my foundation. I would say the Lord, my family, friends. Is anybody I can talk to that has nothing to do with basketball?
We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier with the advice to a younger player, but maybe a little bit zoomed out to any high school player that's going through a college recruitment process, whether they're a blue chip guy or there's someone who has lower recruitment. As someone who's been through 2 years of college basketball now, going into your third year, what advice would you give to these kids?
Really, just keep going and trust the process. Like don't stop. 'Cause I know some people at some point, if they lose like a certain amount of confidence and they see things not going their way, they just want to stop at some point. I would say just don't stop because it's like the Lord has something planned for you, whether it's basketball or something outside of basketball. So I feel like if you just keep going, you're gonna figure out what that plan is for you. So just don't stop.